Hello everybody, it's Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books, and I'm here just to chat you through what I've been reading for Thrillerathon. So if you're not aware, Thrillerathon is ongoing at the moment. It started on the 15th and it finishes this Sunday the 23rd of February. So this is hosted by Harriet Rosie. She does a Thrillerathon a couple of times a year usually, and it's co-hosted by Emma from Drinking by My Shelf, so I'll link those two down below. Go and see what they're up to. So she put your teeth in, Catherine. Right, what's been created this year for Thrillerathon is a Cluedo board, as we call the game in the UK, Cluedo. I don't know if it's called Cluedo in Europe as well. I know over in America it's just called Clue. But I was brought up it being a real favourite in our house, Cluedo, and we often used to have a game, and I'll put you the board up here so you can see. It's a bit like a bingo board that Harriet has created, and it's up to you. You can just read one thriller off here, but the idea is that with Cluedo, if you don't know the game, is you've got to identify who did the murder. Oh yes, who did the murder? So is it, who's the person? Is it Miss Peacock, or is it Professor Plum, or whatever people? And then where did it take place? Was it in the kitchen or the library or the, can't think what else was on there. The library, the bedroom, the study, that sort of thing. And were they killed with a candlestick or a dagger or a gun, that sort of thing. So it's just a bit of fun to be following, see if you can get books to meet these challenges. At the end I'll have a look and see where mine fit in. So if you can see up here, this is sort of all the challenges, and I'll just talk you through the books that I've been reading or I've read. I've already read 2, and there's 2 that's half finished, which I will get finished by the end of the 23rd. So I'm really pleased really to have read 4 books even for this year's spring edition, winter edition should I say. This is still classed as winter edition of Thrillerathon. So the first one that I want to talk about is the recovery of Rose Gold, and I'll leave a picture up here because this is a brand new book that comes out on the 3rd of March. So this is a copy that I got an ARC through NetGalley. It's by Stephanie Wrobel. Right, I've been really excited about this one. That's why I requested it, because it features a mother who excuse me, suffers with Munchausen's by proxy, and if you're not aware of that mental health, mental illness, it's where the mother thinks that their child is ill all the time, has got serious illness, always taking them to the doctors, taking them to hospitals all over the country, looks up all the symptoms, and there are some children that have had surgery on the symptoms the mother's given and there's been nothing wrong with them. So it's quite a, you know, a difficult illness to, I would say, to diagnose and to treat. It's something that interests me, so I want to learn more about it really. And then her daughter gives evidence, which means that this mother goes to prison for 5 years, and when she's let out she's nowhere else to go, so the daughter agrees she can stay with her. Now I find that a bit odd myself, because I'm thinking, well, would she really want a mother there after she's put her through all that? But you know, it's a very complex situation, and I'm eager to find out, because I would think that the daughter's quite flawed. And the other thing I'm finding with it is I'm not sure whether either of them are reliable narrators. So we get both of them narrating in different time frames. I'm enjoying it. It's not blowing me away so far, unless there's something really spectacular that happens, you know, as I continue with it. I'm enjoying it, but not getting as much out of it than I was anticipating, but we'll see. Yeah, still got about half a book to go. So that's the recovery of Rose Gold. The next one that I've already read, again, sorry, I'll have to put a picture up here, is The Fear Index by Robert Harris. And this is my library book club read for this month. So my real life library book club. Never read Robert Harris before. His writing style strikes me as being very similar to Dan Brown. That type of writing. It feels very masculine, very full of knowledge. The knowledge that's in there is quite technical and quite goes over my head, some of it. Whew, over the top of me. But this is something a bit different. It is a thriller, but it's a thriller that's really involving economics, and it's also features a physicist who feels that he's developed some software that can control the stock markets. And so that's something quite different for me. I wouldn't have picked this book up had it not been for the library book club. Yes, I think if you enjoyed Dan Brown, those sorts of books and very masculine writing, then I think you'd enjoy this one. Unfortunately, it wasn't for me. It was very much like reading a textbook on physics and economics. I've recommended it to my sister because she is an economist. So it may well be that she enjoys this. So it's very well written. He's a very prolific author, just not for me, 2 stars. I found it quite monotonous. But the thriller aspect of it was cleverly written and actually quite thought-provoking and quite scary. So have a look at that one. That's The Fear Index, Robert Harris. Next, You Are Not Alone. Again, this is from NetGalley. This is the art copy that I received from the publishers. It's the latest collaboration between Greer, Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, and I couldn't wait to get this. I've enjoyed their work before. The Anonymous Girl, I think, is the last one that I did the review for them. And wow, this didn't disappoint. This is thrilling. Can you imagine that you're at a subway waiting for your train to come in, and a girl suddenly turns round, looks at you in very close proximity, and then jumps in front of the underground train right in front of you. And crikey, a whole catalogue of things happen from then on in. Obviously, this girl's troubled by what she's seen. And also there's a group of friends that seem to be some sort of a gang, some sort of secret society, who are sort of best friends with the girl that's taken her own life. And they sort of befriend the girl that witnesses all this. And, you know, the psychological thriller begins. I loved it. I really loved it. In fact, I stopped up till, 3 in the morning. So I quite finished. 5 stars for me. I noticed some other people didn't find it as gripping, but that just shows how we all look for different things and see different things in books. But I certainly recommend that one. It comes out on the 3rd of March also. So the last one I want to talk about is another one that I'm about a third of the way through. This is Beloved Poison. This is by Elaine Thomson, and she has got a PhD in medical history. And medical history, that's not quite the right term. Let me find the right term, because that doesn't do justice really to what a title is. A PhD in the history of medicine. I went far wrong, it just didn't sound quite right how I said it. This just took my eye. It is a series. This is the first one in the series, so I thought that I would get it for Thrillerathon and see how I did. So this is my treat yourself to a book this month, and I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. It's a historical thriller, and yes, the plot is building, and the suspense that I really want from a good feel thriller is definitely there, all really from the get-go. Bit gory, as you can imagine. It's how can we say, I would say it's very similar to, if you've enjoyed the Ambrose Perry collaboration, and I know they've just brought their second one out. Is it The Way of All the Flesh, the first one? Which, you know, I did have some issues with. I enjoyed it, but I had some issues with. I feel that this is of a similar ilk to that, but with this you're getting the mystery entwined. It's thrilling from the get-go. And yes, if it carries on like this, it's going to be a 5-star read for me. It's really good. Really, really good. Bit gory though. Yeah, bit gory, bit graphic. Glad I wasn't a nurse back in the day. I couldn't have coped. Anyway, so there we go. Go and check out the two girlies that are hosting this edition of Thrillerathon. They're the ones that I'm reading, and I'm enjoying taking part even. And I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.